Here we have an old bike that's become very corroded, and you can see that I've tried to get the bottom bracket out, but it's stuck. It's absolutely stuck fast. The aluminium has bound to the steel bottom bracket there, and the steel bottom bracket's all rusty. Okay, so what I've done is I've tried with the regular bottom bracket removal tool. Then I've got a cheater bar to try and get some leverage in to get it out. Then we use the bolt approach, and then the cutters. So none of them have worked. Time to bring out the big guns, and the big guns in this case are the caustic soda. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at now. Steel frame, it's ancient, it's got rust all over it, and like I say, it's caused by the sweat that's corroded it. The other side of the bottom bracket is steel, and this will be unaffected by the caustic soda, and it means that I can get the whole lot out once it's dissolved the aluminium away. Made a little bath to put the bike in. We're going to stick the caustic soda solution in there. This stuff gets quite hot. It's also pretty nasty to your skin, so I've got my gloves on. I've kept the cat, nailed the cat to the lawn over there in the background, so she's not going to get close to it. But the little plastic flask that I've put the caustic soda in gets very soft when the solution heats up. It doesn't get boiling hot, but it does get quite warm, enough to make the flask quite soft, but it doesn't stay in there long enough to melt it fully. So yeah, we just tip it in and let it do its job. And don't forget, you need to have plant pots to hold your forks up. So what I'm doing, I'm just getting it just above the level of the top of the bottom bracket, so it's fully immersed in the caustic soda. If we take a look, you can see that it's bubbling away there. So we've got the hydrogen being given off from the aluminium, and to test this I can light a little flame. You might remember this from the chemistry days. You get a little pop and a little mini explosion of hydrogen. Don't try this at home, kids. So you can see the water gets quite pasty with all the dissolved aluminium. It looks a bit grey, so I changed it I think 3 or 4 times, and then eventually you end up with a situation like this where the bubbling has stopped, and you can see there that the aluminium has gone from the bottom bracket. So I rinse it down, and then you're left with this. So you can see the aluminium side is now completely dissolved, and that's no longer there. You can see the plastic cable guide underneath the bottom bracket is still intact, as is the steel bolt holding that on. Interestingly, most of the paint's still there, but that actually flaked off quite easily afterwards. And then the other side, that was the steel side, completely untouched. So now I can set about getting this one out. So I used the bolt with so it's bolted right the way through the axle, and secured the bottom bracket tool. So then I can just use the spanner on that to get that side out. Took a bit of effort, but it came out in the end. It came out all in one piece. You can see the bolt there. So it just comes through the bottom bracket shell, and a bit of cleaning to do, and then a bit of spraying to make it look neat and tidy. So we've gone from what was used as a turbo bike for about 15 years to a reborn bike. I think it's on its last life now. It's not going to go further than this, but this is my bike to go to the shops. So I've used the approach of spraying half of it, so it's not going to get nicked. You can see there, it's a nice and tidy bottom bracket.